haven't slept much in the last 48 hours. So, yeah, recap on last week. Idaho State at home. I said this to those in attendance after the match on Thursday. I thought they served really tough and knocked us out of system a lot. They're a good volleyball team. They were able to do some things that really challenged our personnel in the middle. And we're kind of stop-gapping in the middle with Evie right there. She's doing a phenomenal job, but at the same time she's playing out of position. They took advantage of that, so that showed us some things, and I thought we adjusted really nicely on Saturday at Weber. Although we lost 3-0 at Weber, the adjustments our team made on the fly and the aggression and passion they played with throughout that match at Weber State, I couldn't be more happy with. I think Weber State was their senior night, their big gun, their big outside hitter really played a phenomenal match, and it was one of those moments where you sit back and go, yeah, we're playing well, they're just playing better. And so, in terms of, I talked about last week, wanting to build momentum this past week, going to the tournament this weekend, and I feel as though we've done that, although the results don't show it. We've built some momentum in the fact that we've got, we had Kelsey hitting close to 500 on Saturday night. We've had different individuals hitting high numbers at different times, and the challenge for us is to put it all together, in one moment coming into this week. So, everyone's at 0-0 right now as far as postseason play goes. So, we're excited about a matchup with NAU. We felt like each time we've played them, that we've been able to expose some weaknesses of theirs, and the more I've watched our matches versus them in the last 48 hours, I've watched them several times, the more I see more weaknesses of theirs that we can take advantage of. So, yeah, excited to get to Greeley, excited to get after it.
So what's your, does your preparation change much?
It changes a little. We're traveling tomorrow. Instead, we typically travel on a Wednesday. We're traveling tomorrow. So we're not going to practice today. We'll do a light lift this evening. We'll practice tomorrow in Greeley once we get there, and then practice again on Wednesday down there. And that alters our preparation a little bit. But other than that, I think having one team to focus on right now, all of our focus as a staff is on NAU, so our preparation is no longer split between two teams. The great thing about this time of year, you've already seen them twice, and so you've got a wealth of knowledge and information that you have from the two encounters you've already had. So that changes our preparation a little bit, because you dive a little deeper rather than just going broader, so to speak. So as a coaching staff, we're excited to get after NAU. There's no doubt about it.
Were you surprised at the way the seating sort of changed at the end there?
Yeah, I think all credit to Montana to come out and do what they did at Idaho State. I don't like crediting them too much, but all credit to Allison and their crew over there. I think they knew that their destiny was still in their own hands if they could do what they did on Saturday night at Idaho State, and they took advantage of that and ran with it, and they bumped up that one spot. And I think Idaho and NAU was not so much of a surprise to me on the top end of things. It was interesting. I mean, you had Northern Colorado decide not to travel to Sac State at the last minute. We're not going to go. So that was the first time I've ever heard of that. So I don't know if that had an overall impact on the seeding, but definitely on our end with Montana jumping us, that was, it was a little bit surprising. But at the same time, when you think someone's fighting for controlling their own destiny, it's not unsurprising at the same time. On the flip side of that, like I said, NAU and Idaho, it could have gone either way, and I think NAU is in a situation where they're firing at the right time, so it doesn't surprise me they got Idaho in 3.
Even though you guys dropped 3 against Idaho State, can you just kind of talk about Natalie Passek's performance that match?
Yeah, senior night. Senior night's an interesting one. You got to find a balance as a coach. You want them to enjoy the moment, enjoy the emotions of their senior night, but at the same time, you don't want them to get overwhelmed or carried away with those emotions. I think Natalie did a really nice job of managing her situation. A lot of family and friends there for her, which was awesome to see. She's a much-loved member of the team and much loved by her family, and as all the girls on the team are. It's always special to send somebody out when you know you're not done. You know, we hope to get to the point where we're hosting the conference tournament, and therefore our senior night is not an indication of the last time our home fans will see them play. But for Natalie on Thursday night, you know, it's a culmination of 4 years of really hard work. She has been the cornerstone of the rebuild of this program. To go from 3 wins her first year to 11 and still going in her final year is, you know, speaks massive amounts to the investment she's made in this program, massive amounts to the investment she's made in her craft as a volleyball player. And I couldn't be more proud of what she's done on the court, and then to see her mature off the court. I mean, that's the neat part. The public sees, you know, the growth of the athlete. We get to see the growth of the person, and Natalie's becoming just such an outstanding young woman who has a great future ahead of her in whatever she chooses to do. So Thursday was a special night for Natalie, there's no doubt about it.
How about Rizzo breaking the Diggs record?
Yeah, isn't that cool? I mean, I think reflecting on her career so far, I want to say her first season, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say she was in the 300s for the season on Diggs, and now she's in 600 and still going. I mean, that's phenomenal. You know, and that's a record that has stood for quite some time. You know, and you know, for her just to roll through it and keep going has been so impressive to me. I would like to think that she's a leading candidate for Libero of the Year in the conference. In my mind, and a lot of the coaches I've spoken with, that she is the best Libero in the conference. And she's another one of the recruits that we've had come in who's just made such a huge impact in the turnaround of this program and the development. And to see her get those personal accolades are well deserved. You know, again, you guys get to see the end product a lot, but the work and the graft and the time she spends watching film and the hard work she puts in the weight room and on the court has really, it's paid off in a big way for her. So it's very gratifying as a head coach to see your individual athletes receive those accolades for sure.
And how much of an asset can she be in a conference tournament, do you think?
Yeah, huge. I mean, she's going into it with a massive sense of confidence in herself. She's at the peak of her powers right now, and you know, she's leading. You know, when the seedings played out on Saturday night, and you know, we started having conversations as a team, she was the first one to stand up and just be like, yeah, let's get it. I'm excited for it. Who cares who we're facing? Let's go get the first one, and then worry about the next one. And you know, so there's a lot of excitement coming from the team, and Rizzo's a real leader in that, because she's just a competitor. You know, she gets out there and wants whatever's coming. So it's exciting. I'm stoked we got her on our side. I'll tell you that. I would not want to play against her.
You know, with the Big Sky tournament, knowing that you have to face multiple opponents in the span of 3 days, I mean, how do you kind of keep the girls calm and collected?
It's just one day at a time. That's all you can do. I mean, I've had this experience in the NCAA tournament that you can't focus on anything but the match in front of you, because if you start thinking anything ahead of that, you're toast, you know. And so for us, the first day is our complete focus, and then as a staff, we'll let the girls rest after the first day, and we'll move on to the second day as our next complete focus. And so, you know, it's going to be a learning experience for our team, and we're deliberately taking the whole roster to this because we want them to go through that experience of what it's like to prepare for tournament play. Because for us, this is the first time since 2012, no one on this roster has done this before. Us as a coaching staff, we've all had different experiences with different tournament runs. So we're able to pass that on to the team, but they need to have that first-hand experience. And this going to the tournament this year, we want this to be the habit moving forward, that, you know, that it's an expectation moving forward that we're getting to the tournament every year, and we're moving up in the seedings, and the expectations increase because of the development of the program. So, like I said, we're taking everybody because we want them to learn and grow about how to deal with one-and-done situations.
Now, do you feel like the team will be able to kind of manage the emotions of it?
You know, it's a little bit of an unknown. We've got to do our best to prepare them. We'll have those conversations about, you know, our complete focus is on now. I think there's a lot of excitement in the building with what football's done, and that could easily be a distraction. So we're challenging them not to get distracted by what football's doing. We've got our own goals and our own determination as to what we want to do, not to take anything away from what football's done or doing. But we can't, you know, be focused on them. We've got to be focused on us and our job at hand. So a lot of conversations need to happen between us and the team. A lot of leadership from me and Katie and Cole in terms of guiding them. But at the same time, I don't have a huge concern because the girls have been hungry for this for 4 years. Ever since I got here, this has been the conversation: when are we going to the tournament? Now we're doing it. Hey, let's make the most of it. So, not a huge concern, but definitely some education needs to happen along the way.
Okay.
Great, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.